Now, for Carnival time, you can't go to every show, but there's one show that you definitely can't afford to miss this year, and that's Talk 10 2024, because there's only going to be one show, one special performance, and it's happening this coming Friday at Queen's Hall. Well, this morning I have with me the man himself who's been responsible for Talk 10 for, I don't even know how many years now is the longest running Talk 10 ever. Mr. Paul Keynes Douglas joins us on set. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you, and nice of you to have me here. You know?
I appreciate you coming. I know it's Ash Wednesday, but we're getting ready for the big one.
Yeah.
This coming Friday.
Yeah.
How long has Talk 10 been running now?
Well, last year we celebrated our 40th anniversary.
Wow.
40 years going. This is 41st, you know. Well, I'm getting there too, but...
but how does it feel when you look back at all the years of producing this show?
Oh, it's become like it's a family thing.
Yeah.
Some people have been in the Talk 10 to have worked as children and grown up and have been on the show itself.
Yeah.
So when you look back, you see the sort of history of the Trinidad through the people you know over the years. Hazelwood and Alistair Hennessy and all the people involved, like what you're doing here this morning, that I've gone through with TTT2 over the years. So many people have changed. Holly Today, all these people are all part of that social group,
Yeah.
And I'm still here going, right?
And you're still here going and doing it well as well. Now, it's happening this Friday at 7:30 is the kickoff time at Queen's Hall.
Right.
Now, we want to give away 2 tickets, so I'm going to urge you guys to get close to your phone line. The number is 622-4010, right? But tell me some of the people we are performing. I know one of these staples in the show is one of my co-workers here at Talk City 91.1 FM, Mr. Short Pants, always in it.
Yeah. Well, we have Miguel Brown, Avian Crooks.
Who taught me in school, actually, ironically.
Avian Crooks. Farida Chapman is back on this year.
Nice.
Well, David Bureau has always been our singing MC.
Yeah.
We had singing MC since 19 whatever the year was, 83.
You reverse the thing. So you had talking MCs doing the singing show, so you have a singing MC doing the talking show. We used to have backup laughers, fellas who could laugh in case the joke didn't work, right? But we found people laughing more at them than at it, so we dropped them off the show. The backup laughers.
So David Bureau is the singing MC. Felix Edinburgh and his Perros. Well, the Perros will be there, the young ones, because he brings new people every year. We have some new ones this year. Short Pants doing Talk Calypso. Because the purpose of the Talk 10 was really to show the different styles of talk within the oral traditions. So you have comics, comedians, humorists, satirists, serious poets, rap, so all these different things. Then you had the Wild Indian, the Red Indian, all the different carnival talk. So it was really a place for you to come and be able to sit down and differentiate between, because everybody makes you laugh, but they're not the same. You know what I mean? And that was really the purpose. So over the year, we have Short Pants Talk Calypso is something that,
people look forward
to that, you see.
Yeah.
So all the things that we take for granted very much are art forms, So our motto is where talk is art. And we try to show you the art, because people make it look easy on stage, but it's really a lot of hard work, to be a comedian or a storyteller. There's so much goes into being that person.
I want to talk a little bit about what goes into it, but we have Faizabad on the line because they want to win a ticket to head to Talk 10 this Friday. Good morning to you, Faizabad.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, morning.
Morning. You hearing me good?
Very good, yes, go ahead.
All right, I understand you want to go to Talk 10 this Friday.
I would like to.
Tell me 2 of the people who will be performing at Talk 10 on Friday.
You have Miguel Moses, Miguel Brown, you have Kevin Carter, you have Paul Keynes Douglas, Avian Crooks.
All right. Yeah,
you're right.
You're right. All right. Well, congratulations. Hold the line and we take your information, and you got yourself a ticket to go on Friday. Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me a little bit about the preparation process when it comes to the oral tradition, when it comes to storytelling on stage.
Well, the thing about it is that when you come to a Talk 10, that's why I say shows like these are so important, because you always learn something. The emphasis is on learning something. Because everybody on that show does a piece, prepare their own material, and they're in control of their little area.
Right.
And there's always a topic, so that when you come to Talk 10, this is why it's so good for teachers and children to come to these kind of shows. Because you leave there's always messages coming in from Short Pants and Calypso, Miguel's storytelling, Avian Crooks, or Farida Chapman. Because they all have themes, and every year you pick a theme, whether it's cricket or football or sports or jokes or politics, you're allowed to do what you want. You're in charge of 15 minutes and you present yourself, So you give you a platform and you go from there with whatever you want. It's up to you and the audience, right?
Yeah.
And that's where it began at the beginning, because when I started in 1983, and that was in a little canvas tent on Victoria Avenue, that's where Wayne Barkley had his mass camp there afterwards.
Yeah.
Helen Camp set up something called 10 Theatre. And most of these guys, Africana, all the people pass through that thing, right?
Yeah.
And there was no place you could really go and hear comedians talking, like a show.
They were always just the MCs.
They were MCs and they were on stage and they came in between the important acts. And and I said, no, it is an art form. We want to be able to go and sit and listen to them, to hear the difference between a Sprangalang or Tommy Joseph and a Paul Keynes Douglas and these things. And you can get your 15 or 20 minutes to do it. And the guys themselves now had to shape up and learn their stuff because it was no longer just giving jokes and running off the stage. You had to sit there and talk to people.
And put together a set.
Right. And the guy, you saw the improvement. One day I went after the first show, they went home unprepared. So when they came back next time, they were ready, And that was the purpose of the whole thing, to get you, get this sort of...
To raise the level.
To raise the level, and for you to see it as an art form, and not just as people making you laugh. Because people make, the professional thing is to make it look easy, like it's nothing happening. But you have to prepare, and then, like me, I don't use paper. I can't talk with paper. I have to have good memory.
To me, that's part of the preparation as well. So we have Barataria on the line because they want to win the next ticket to go to Talk Tent on Friday. Good morning, Barataria. Barataria left.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can give us a call. We still have one more ticket to give away, 6224010. Mount Lambert wants to win this ticket. Good morning, Mount Lambert. They're gone too. All right. So the phone lines are open. Give us a call.
Yeah.
All right. So we're talking about preparation. We're talking about putting together this 15-minute long set, learning your material, or is it that people are allowed to use paper if they?
But no, you're up to you. If you want to use paper, it's your art form. Some people are good readers. You also have very good readers. People who can read, and and it's up to you what you want to do in your presentation. But the important thing is that you have a theme. And that you stick to your theme or whatever you can try. But my thing is that you're trying to get some kind of message out, in the work. And then, strangely, most of our performers have been teachers, short bands.
Well, I was going to comment on that. But let me stick up in because Arima wants to win that ticket. Good morning, Arima.
Hi, good morning.
How are you doing?
I am quite alright today.
Where's Talk Tent happening this Friday?
Queen's Hall, Potterskin Center.
What time is it starting,
I think it's 7 p.m. Is it?
You could get there for 7, you ain't going to be late, you're going to be early, and you're going to be actually in good time. The house should be open by 7 o'clock, and you have just won yourself a ticket to go. Congratulations, Arima.
Thank you.
Hold the line first to take your information. Just like that. 2 tickets gone. Thank you guys so much for calling. Now, I understand you have some special guests this year.
Yes, right. Every year over the years, we have brought up look for special guests, right? Sometimes it's very hard to find special guests
that fit in the theme.
Yeah, because it is not the kind of show that you want to put things on. You're trying to, it's a matter of hanging on to values, what you want to be. And too many things in Trinidad, they change it to sell, so you can sell it. But then at the end, you don't have what you started with, what you wanted to.
Yeah.
So you're always looking for people who can fit in, either from a youth point of view, or, and especially in talkers, because I look for the storytelling kind of people. You have rap and you have spoken word and you have storytellers, different kind of things. So you push, the thing that you are trying to preserve. But we also have special guests every year, and Kevin Carter is our special guest this year.
Tell me about the choice of Kevin Carter.
Well, he's young,
right?
And I really don't go looking for the big stars. I look for the fellas who are the real stars, but nobody is calling them stars, because sometimes I go to a show and the person who wins is not the person I would put first. You know what I mean?
That's a whole different conversation altogether. But
so I look for people. I heard him singing. I think at Movie Town. Well, other people knew him very well, and I heard him singing at behind
at Fiesta Plaza.
In the back there. And I said, this will make
and
a
something
good
about
guest.
him caught your attention.
Make a good guest artist, And then we're also looking at the youth part of it, trying to bring young people in, because we all talk to them. We have grown with the tent. Even our audience going to everybody, But we provide a sort of something for the mature people who want to come.
Course.
There's shows you can go to Bacchanal shows. There's plenty of them you can go. Yeah. But you're not going to get a kind of Talk Tent material there, And so we also just create an area for older people too, who can come and sit down, relax, and then know they feel comfortable.
Now, over the years, you've managed to kind of harness all your power in this category, right? When it comes to the oral tradition.
Yeah.
So much so that you've recorded albums, you've recorded DVDs, you've had that stuff that you've been selling, you've been doing it constantly.
Yeah.
How do you decide on what topics you're going to talk about, or how you're going to talk about what you're talking about? Because, when we hear about Tanti Merle and things, everybody can picture it because everybody have a Tanti Merle. But how do you decide on what you're going to talk about?
I don't know. Sometimes it just comes to you. You start to write one thing. For instance, I should should say I'm launching a new book at the Talk 10 too.
Nice.
And we talk about that because it's called String Bank, and that's one of my popular children's stories.
Yeah.
I have a lot of children's stories, but I'm not a storyteller for children as such.
Right.
It's among all the other stuff, so I perform them. So, and that's where my future is now. I'm going to do a lot of children's material. Because I had material, I've never really focused on taking it out. So I've taken this one, String Bank, the story of Vibert and the kite, the kite. And my daughter is illustrating the book, so it's a father and daughter
Nice one.
deal. So you'll see that at the Talk 10, right? But it's things hit you, you know. You get it's like Calypso. You see something, get an idea for Calypso, you know. And then a lot of it is true. A lot of my stories are true stories, you know.
Yeah.
I just exaggerate them a lot, but really look for something. It really happened. And this thing about String Bank is a true story. And the little boys gather string and join them together to fly my kite, you know. Because I thought a good idea why we string, you know.
Yeah.
So I saw it as a bank, you're banking strings. I call it String Bank, right?
Oh, all right,
And
all
that
right.
was the idea behind it, you know. And when the kite went up in the air, of course, your imagination takes over now. That's where the story comes.
Yeah.
But it actually is a true story, you know. As a little boy, I used to gather these strings. I used
So
to gather
the
marbles.
foundation of it oftentimes is based on the truth.
Based on the truth.
But then you exaggerate to get that proper story.
And that's where the real storytelling is.
The art of it comes
The
from.
art of it, because it is true, but you can't forget it because it's a true thing. You know, you can't bust. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Because you know what you want to say, you just say it. You know?
Yeah.
When you're trying to make it up, then it's different. You can bust. Okay, I can't remember. But when it's a true thing, when you begin to tell the story, it's like a movie. You see the thing. I don't see the audience. I see the story.
story unfolding in front
it's
of
like
you.
Vibert and the kite. And
Yeah.
Vibert is running down the hill, and he stumps his toe, and he let go the kite, and the kite, you as they say here, and then it falls right across the whole city, and the string stretch all over the city, which is true. When a little boy saw when you're a kite bus, you see the string going all over the house.
Yeah.
So I saw the image of that really happening, because it did happen. And so the kite is falling in the distance, and the string is falling, but you can't tell the difference between the string and the tail because two of them look alike, right? But so your imagination takes over there, and then the mayor says it's the only time the tongue unite because the string brings them together. So many moral stories in there, even though to look at it and pull it out to show what we're talking about. And this is just a little story. You know? Anyway.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get some more storytelling, if you want to get into the crux of the thing, if you want to get all the lovely messages, all the bacchanal as well, you can feel free to head on down to Talk 10 2024, where talk is art. It's happening this Friday at Queen's Hall in Port of Spain. Kickoff time at 7:30 p.m. Please be on time. Tickets only cost $250. So if you want to get your tickets, you can head down to RIK Gulf City or Trin City. You can check Crosby's. You can also check Queen's Hall's box office as well. And for reservation, you can call 632-1647. Paul Keynes Douglas, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Can I beg for one story before we go? I could beg for one little story. As we take the break, you can tell them in this camera here.
What story you want to hear?
You know, you pick one.
Once long ago, not so long ago, and the story I'm telling is true. A man take a pan, and with a hammer in his hand, cool so, he invented something new. It was an ordinary drum in which the oil used to come. It didn't make no particular sound. One note, maybe two. You could beat it till you blew. That was all it could do for you. Then this man got a plan with the hammer in his hand, and he said, you know, I think I understand. If the drum making one, and the drum making two, well, then the drum could well make quite a few. So the man take the pan with the hammer in his hand, and he stooped down there on the ground. And he hit it, and he beat it, and he stretch it, and he mark it, and the pan start to make a new sound. Ting, 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 ting. Was a do, re, mi, and a mi, re, do was all he could make it play. But the song so sweet, he take it in the street. Was the first time they hear pan play. And all the way you go when the crowd got it wrong and they jump to the notes of the pound. And none would forget how they dance and they fete on the day that the steel band was born. And since that time, all over the land, you could hear the sweet sound of pan, where they hit it and they beat it and they stretch it and they mark it like that man with the hammer in his hand. They make a tenor pan and they make a second pan, then they come and make a double tenor too. Then they make a guitar pan, and they make a cello pan. No, boy, take it 100 man to make a band. They play do, re, mi, and fa, sol, la, ti, do, and no place the pan can go. Upper class, middle class, lower class, no class. Classics to Kaiso. It was born on the streets of Trinidad. It has now gone far and wide. And there ain't no stopping, and there ain't no staying. It's a sound of a people's pride. So when you hear the beat of that steel band on the street and the shuffle of 1,000 feet, remember that man with that hammer in his hand who put the first notes on a pan. How he hit it, and he beat it, and he stretched it, and he marked it as he stooped down day on that ground. How he hit it, and he beat it, and he stretched it, and he marked it, and the pan started to make that new sound. Ding, ting, 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 ting.
Crick crack.
Say it there.
Crick crack, monkey break it back on a piece of Amarak. We take a break and we coming back. Thank you so much, Marquis
Pleasure, man.
Douglas.